gear matters.
Yeah.
Gear matters. I will not sit down here and lie to you that gear doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
It matters. But if, again, the substance of what is coming out of that gear does not carry that weight, does not back that hype, if that content does not back that hype, then that gear is very useless. You can make 8 videos and make 0 sales.
Yeah.
And have 0 conversions if budget.
If budget is not your
If
problem.
budget is not a problem.
Time max.
Hey, you know what they call gas?
Yes.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
You have it. Your eye on it. We all know the gears.
I will buy. I will buy. Call me a hypocrite. I don't care. But I will buy. In short form content, I think it's really changing how cinematography and filmmaking in general works.
The gap between the Hollywood style,
exactly.
and the creators is now getting
closer and closer. And that's something I really appreciate. Now, we spend so much time wanting gimbals, but we forget that most of these cinema line cameras, they don't have IBIS, right?
Yeah, they don't.
But they all have gyro data.
Yeah.
And the best stabilization you will get
is gyro data.
Yeah. So when I see people saying, oh, this camera doesn't have IBIS, are you asking the right questions? Well, what is that one thing that I know that I can't do without?
Welcome to another episode of Depth of It podcast. It has been an amazing journey with you guys. It's beautiful to see how much you guys have been supporting this podcast, this show. And I'm happy to be here again for this amazing episode, because this episode is going to be packed. So with me here is somebody I admire his work a lot. I love the way he tells stories. I love the intentionality he puts. When you see his work online, you can tell that a lot has gone into it. Even though most of the videos are short form, you can tell how much long form work has gone into that short form video, and that is no other person than Achiv. Welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing?
Very good, man.
Nice to meet you after you've postponed to come to this show for like 1 million times.
Sorry, I apologize for that. Life.
How are you doing though?
Pretty good.
Okay, so I know you do a lot of short, impactful, videos online. But why did you say you chose short form over long form? Why not just focus on long form content, especially for the fact that you like to tell a lot of story? Why short form content then?
I believe you don't need to say too much to convey a message. Personally, I'm not a man of many words. I really don't know how to talk for a really long time. So I just want people to feel something. It doesn't take anything to, it shouldn't take so long to make somebody feel something. People feel more than they listen. Yeah?
People feel more than they
listen.
Okay.
So if you're able to make them feel something, then I think you're winning already.
And your goal is to make people feel something, not just to see something.
Not just see something, but to feel something that's familiar, something that this feels familiar. Relatable. Not just relatable in the sense that, relatable content, that's where your mind might go to.
Something that has happened in the past, but it's also relatable that you can apply it.
You can feel it. It's like, damn, this hits home. That nostalgic feeling. Yeah.
Would you say short form content is changing how people consume, storytelling online?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, I think it is. And I love the fact that it is. Change is something we cannot avoid. We can't. Back in the day, we would go to cinemas, we would go to film houses to see these artworks, to see them showcase whatever it is they have to showcase. But with the advent of social media and short form content, I think it's really changing how cinematography and filmmaking in general works. And
okay.
Yeah, and I like it. I do like it. It's giving small creators an opportunity.
There's the gap between Hollywood
The
movie
Hollywood,
style,
exactly.
and the creators is now getting
It's getting closer and
yeah,
closer,
yeah,
and that's
closer and
something
closer.
I really appreciate
Yeah.
social media for, and short form content. I am able to tell my story without having big budgets.
And that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you are able to get Hollywood audience without Hollywood budget.
Budgets, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we have videos that have more views on YouTube than some Netflix videos.
Facts. That's facts.
And some videos on Instagram goes more viral than even more professional pieces
Yeah.
on streaming platform.
Yeah, there's this creator, this filmmaker on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but I think he's Asian. I'm not sure which country he's from, but he says something that I really love, and I completely agree with. Um, uh, how did he put it? Sorry, let me gather my thoughts.
No problem.
Ah, God, I just lost it, and I had it just not too long ago. But there's something he said about social media. Yes, he said nobody would market you except you. And that's what I love about social media. Nobody is going to market you. You don't have a personal producer that's going to fund your entire story. So because of social media, you're able to market yourself.
Then do you even think funding works? Like before, I feel like if you're just creating content and you want to be discovered, creating art is almost useless. Creating art is not as impactful as creating, good content.
Yeah.
I feel like if you need to boost your post or boost your content, it is most likely because that content is not really performing well. It's not a good content. I don't really think good content needs, because this thing is funny. I've started seeing this trend that people with less than 100 followers are having 1 million views. And people with 100k followers are struggling to get 100k views. So we are starting to get to that point in this content creation era and social media era that your followers doesn't even matter anymore. What matters the most now is your content able to resonate with people. As long as that content, a lot of time I get mad. In fact, I got mad last week. One of the contents I put the least amount of energy, the least
Yeah.
amount of intentions, the most, just got like a lot of views. And I was really mad that with the level of intentionality I put in some of my videos, they don't really go viral. And it is the one I just said, okay, I now realize the reason those ones are doing better are because they are very original and they are very relatable to people. And I realize sometimes pumping money, because what you said was you don't need anybody to sponsor you. And that was what I was trying to explain, that as long as your content is good enough, resonates with people, you tell stories people understand and people like, then the sky is the limit when it comes to, you don't need any connection. You don't
No, not really. You don't really need connection in the sense that, oh, I need this person, I need this person. Even though it's to your advantage, but I think a good story would market itself very well.
Yeah, I believe so too. So for somebody like you that does documentary, real stories, and fictional stories, like narratives,
Yeah.
curated stories, how do you draw the line, the creative line? How do you know? How do you balance it to know, okay, this is a documentary, everything has to be real and organic. This is fiction. I need to interpret my imagination as much as I need to do.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It's hard. Um, there's this documentary I had, a job I had to go, I had to travel for in Benue State. Now that was a documentary. What you see on my profile on Instagram is mostly narratives,
Yeah.
stories I curate, I try
Yeah.
to tell. And drawing the line between those two can be very tricky. If you're not careful, you might start to, think it's a personal thing. And by the time you're done, your clients will look at you and be like, what are you doing? This is not what we asked for. So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
So I did a deep research on documentaries. I've been doing documentaries for a really long time. That is where I started, commercial work with. But I wanted it to be better. I wanted it to not be the normal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I post my commercial
Documentary.
work. I don't post those. I think I just love my clients to have that that freedom. They should enjoy it. It's theirs. Uh, but I still wanted it to have a touch of Achiv in it. So it's not it's not supposed to restrict you from being creative. Documentaries most of the time are run and gone. They are very unpredictable, very unplanned.
And
So
that is one thing I love about
yeah,
documentaries.
it's fun. It's fun.
I just love the fact when I'm watching, I find it difficult to enjoy. The movies I enjoy the most are real life stories that are, now narrated into a movie, documentaries, or research, movies about research or movies about history, because I feel like I'm watching I feel like I'm watching something that is actually real. But anytime I'm watching narratives or curated things, I mean, I appreciate the level of creativity that goes into, curating fictional curating fictional movies and, content creation and all of that. But there's just this organic, you're watching somebody's story and this is actually somebody's story. And that person is actually talking to you about his story. And they're actually showing you sometimes the emotion that goes into the process of becoming that person. And it fascinates me a lot. And I think I would choose it over and over and over and over again. Like love documentaries. So, and for somebody like you, I do narratives, but I don't really do a lot of narratives. I don't really do a lot of narratives. And when I'm doing narratives, sometimes I just forget myself and I start making things real. Forgetting that sometimes to really translate what you have in your head, it does not really have to, like something like slow motion, some what's this slow effect that we use? We use
This shorter angle.
a shorter angle
Yeah,
slow
slow shutter.
effect, a slow shutter effect, and all of that. Are things you hardly see in documentaries.
Documentaries, yeah.
Sometimes you can, especially if you're trying to add fictions. A lot of documentaries that maybe we don't have a lot of archive footages,
Yeah.
and you want to, recreate those scenes and stuff. You have to start making fictional things.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm doing products, ads, and maybe any narratives, I find it very difficult to balance. Like you said, I will now start having to make a lot of research and stuff. So I was just curious to know, okay, when it comes to the creative part, when you want to be creative with documentary, your goal is to try as much as possible to make it real. When you want to be creative in narratives and other forms of filmmaking, you are trying as much as possible to just interpret and make them feel certain way. So it can be very tricky for somebody like you that
Yeah,
that
it is very
yeah.
tricky. Well, as I was saying, it's not supposed to limit you, and that's why I love documentaries. It's unpredictable. So when it comes to post production now, you still have that creative freedom to do certain things that would still elevate the
Yeah,
look
yeah, yeah.
of your documentary or the emotion or the message you're trying to convey. So there's really nothing wrong with trying to add a touch of originality to documentaries. So stylizing the whole idea and making it look polished. There's really nothing wrong. But at the same time, documentaries are very, very unpredictable. You can't say, oh, we are going to film for 2 hours.
No.
Nah, you might go
Nah,
there and
nah.
you end up
You might not
spending
even come back that day.
you might not. You might not. A lot of things can happen. When going for documentaries, I used to make this mistake of, oh, I need this light. I need this.
Oh,
Big mistake.
uh,
Big mistake. And I think that's another difference between, curated
document.
content and documentaries.
The last time I traveled for a
Yo,
documentary, I remember going with a lot of light, and I did not bring out one light from the hotel.
one.
Sometimes
One.
I did not bring out my gimbal. I could not use my
You
gimbal.
can't use your gimbal. You can't. I think for documentaries, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I'm not even sure you will, but you hardly use a gimbal. it's better handheld.
Yeah.
It's
To feel that organic.
it's
Because
so
if
good.
it's too, if you're not careful, if you're using a gimbal, in fact, if you're not careful, if you're using a gimbal, it's going to attack you.
Yeah.
Except is the kind of document like corporate documentaries
Yeah.
for corporate documentaries now has this polished feel
You
to
need a
it, and
slider. You need
a
a
lot of they don't want. It's not real. Corporate documentary is not really about the truth. No organization will want to show the truth behind the organization is usually the polished truth. So there's a difference between documentary and corporate documentary.
yeah.
Corporate documentary are usually fitter. Sometimes when you even get sponsored for your documentary, when you have people sponsoring, let's say an embassy is sponsoring your documentary and all of that, if the story might make your embassy feel somehow, you will not want to add that part to it so that you can get grants, more grants next time.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think documentary has influenced you? Which one did you start first? Was he you started documentary before narratives or narratives before documentary?
Narratives.
Narratives.
Yeah.
Would you say narratives influenced your documentary, or your documentary has influenced your narrative more? Or they are just your two separate words that you just
I'd say narrative has influenced
your
my
documentary.
documentary. Yeah. That's
So you're more of a fictional storyteller.
when you say fiction. When you say fiction, my head immediately goes towards Marvel, DC.
Oh, okay. You know something? I was actually thinking of something yesterday. I don't know if I should be putting out this because it's an idea I have in my
Yeah.
head. I was like, Nigerians, Nigeria does not really, what we see online does not really depict what the true Abuja is.
The
Is either we depict all the true Nigeria, the true Lagos. To be sincere, Lagos is not always chaotic. Abuja is not always beautiful. Abuja, see, okay, I was driving yesterday and I was like, okay, you know, when you look at certain videos about Abuja on Instagram, you know, you just see, you know, there's this, oh my God, if you're not in Abuja, it's just like, oh my God, I can't, Abuja is everything, you know, we've color graded the not so green grasses, we've color graded the not so great buildings,
oh my god.
we've color graded the roads, we've added colors to our taxi, you know, and for those people that are trying, they are claiming they want to tell the real stories of Abuja too. Then they go extreme, going to places like Maraba inside, showing
Or
hard
Gogolada.
trenches. This is the Abuja you don't see online, showing you ridiculous parts of Abuja that we living in Abuja don't even get to experience daily. You understand? So, how do you think we can find the middle ground in our storytelling? Because okay, we one thing we complain about and why we say we need to take storytelling seriously so that those white guys won't start telling our stories better than ours. But I also think we should be careful not to over polish. It's good to always be positive about our stories and our cities and stuff, but sometimes it can be. I think I remember when Grant used to do a lot of live night scenes and stuff. Then there was one video he posted that I love so much that he posted when they I think snatched his assistant's phone or something. The same life nights that when he posts, we are going to be like, oh my God, Abuja is so like peaceful at night. You can just wind down and just drive safe. I drive in Abuja in the midnight. I don't feel safe enough to wind down, not unless now turn on my convertible car and let breeze be blowing me at night where I don't feel that secure in Abuja. What do you have to say about that balance? How important do you think that balance should be in storytelling?
Um, I think it's very important to tell the truth. Yeah. But again, this we're talking about being creatives or being creative. You have no limits. There is no limitation.
Yeah,
There is
absolutely.
absolutely no limitation to whatever it is you want to do. However it is you want to tell your story. You're free. Just tell the truth. And it is true that Abuja is beautiful, very beautiful,
Very true,
if
yeah.
not the most beautiful state in the entire country.
Wow,
That
yeah.
is if Abuja is even a state.
And beautiful is relative too.
It's relative.
For somebody that has not been abroad, Abuja is a beautiful city.
For somebody who has been abroad, I'm speaking of myself, who has been abroad and is still here.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
will
tell
you compare Abuja with Cape Town? Because I know
I can compare certain parts of Abuja with Cape Town, but like I said, like we've agreed, it is relative, right? There are certain places I can compare, but Abuja still has its flaws. That's is a given.
every city. Has.
Every city has like, their flaw. We can all agree with that. So it all depends on who is telling the story and what you want to tell. I don't think there is a middle ground. To be honest, I do not think there is a middle ground because it's like placing a it's like limiting their creativity. If somebody wants to tell you the raw part of Abuja, I think they are free to do with that information what you will. And if somebody wants to tell you, oh, this is what you would experience also when you come to this same Abuja, Lagos gets a lot of backlash, but this is something I can confidently say anywhere. Lagos is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's not as chaotic
it's
as
not
people
chaotic as people think. I bash Lagos
It's not
too.
always as chaotic.
I bash
But
Lagos
because
too.
it can be chaotic sometimes, but it's not always.
It's not always.
Yes.
But most of the time, it's chaotic.
No, most of the time.
It is chaotic. It does has its flaws. And unless we point out those flaws, especially in the kind of country we are, nobody will do anything if it's not talked about.
But do
If we
you
don't talk
now
about
think that can, if let's say creators in Abuja are trying as much as possible to make Abuja with color grading and all of that, to make Abuja very beautiful online.
Yeah.
Do you think for creators that are just trying to, show this is Abuja, don't you think there will be like it's going to be like contradicting, like okay, like because imagine trying to tell a story saying Lagos in movies now. I've realized Hollywood movies, in fact, maybe movies. I've seen documentaries from America that were shot in Lagos and all of that. If they want to show Lagos, they don't try to show the VI parts. They don't try to show the very serene Lagos. If they want to just show Lagos, they just show the very chaotic so that you can feel that it's Lagos. And if they want to show Abuja in films, they just show that so that you can feel like Abuja. But
exactly, it still falls down to the creator or who is trying to tell the story. Like I said, I mean, it's how you present yourself. That is how people would address you.
Or we can also see the people that are leading in the creative industries in each state have also created this standard, this barricade around the city. Like, see what Grant has done. People like you, like portraying Abuja as, this city, this beautiful city. If anybody is showing Maraba, like, people will just be like,
it would interest you that I can... Me personally, I feel like I can still go and tell Maraba's story in a very nice way and tell you that this same Maraba that people are saying, oh, they will steal your phone. I can still go to Maraba and tell you, oh, this is still Maraba.
But do you think that is what we should be using storytelling for?
If that's what I want to do, that's what I will do. Like, I wouldn't want to put anybody or any state or any part of the country down. I still love Nigeria, it's still my country.
No, if we are telling the truth about our country, does that mean we are putting it down?
No. As much as, I don't know, this is a very common saying among people. I like to think of this country as a human being itself.
Yeah.
Because I'm dying inside.
That's actually a nice perspective.
Yeah, because I'm dying. Let's just imagine that, oh, I'm broke. I'm very broke. I don't have money. Does that mean I should not carry myself outside and be portraying like, oh, I'm already hungry?
It should look like what you're going through.
I should look like what I'm going through.
Oh, now I get it. That makes sense. I agree. Because even when we are looking at Californians, all of those, they have going through a lot too. They have trenches, and sometimes when I see some YouTubers saying this is USA, and I'm
exactly,
like,
they have hoods. They have.
But we don't also get to see those parts. You don't get to see it because they are also trying to push the positive, which is actually good for our.
And if you think about it, we have that freedom. We still have that freedom. Take for example, what's going on. I don't want to get into politics, but take a look at what's going on with the war between the US and Iran, right? Look at how much the media is trying to cover up what's going on in places like Dubai. They still want to make you feel like, oh, Dubai is safe.
Because
they
if
are
not, it
pushing
can
out.
even cause depression for a lot of
Yes.
people in Dubai.
Exactly. It's going to affect the country heavily. That's why you check it now. You see so many ads are going on. It's still trying to portray Dubai as one of the safest countries in the world, despite the war that is going on.
I get you.
And you see, it just depends on what perspective you want people to see. So control the perspective, control the narrative. Don't let people, you know, define your entire being based off of what they perceive.
And we can only do that by telling
By telling our
our
own story. We're the only ones that can tell our
the
story.
way we want others to see
Exactly.
us.
Exactly. So even though, take for example again, the way Grant told that story, he was still driving at night. He still posted the video. Abuja still looks beautiful, but he still called out the police. He still called them out and he was like, "This is what happened and this is what you did." He still loves the country.
Yes.
It's still a beautiful state.
I think I learned something from this, and I love the fact that you like to see Nigeria as a person, and I think from that shows how much of a storyteller you are. That shows the depth of how you really think about curating your stories, and I mean I applaud you for that. So there's this question I want to ask. You do a lot of you do ads. I won't say a lot of ads. You do ads for brands, well-known brands, and how do you? And when you are trying to advertise something on social media through content, you don't want to tell people, "I want to sell this thing to you. Come and buy." You understand? So how do you manage
I
that? Shooting ads, creating ad contents for your clients without making it feel like an ad,
I think
with storytelling.
there's
I saw one. I don't know if it's a car service ad you did.
safeguards.
Yes,
Car rental.
that you were just it was just so cool. Then before I know, I was like, oh, it's an ad, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I would like to experience this, or what you just experienced. Even though I know that if I hired them, I might not get the same experience, because the experience is not just about their service.
Okay.
Do you understand? The experience was not just about their service.
Okay, I know this is your podcast, but can I it's not a promotion, but it's kind of a promotion.
yeah.
Shout out to Safecars. I highly recommend them if you're ever in Lagos. Use them.
Okay, they're only in Lagos.
They also operate in Abuja.
Okay.
They also operate in Abuja. A very, very reliable car rental company. However, when I was shooting that ad, it would interest you to know that it was I was in so much pressure. I was in so much pressure because that day, the car we were supposed to use didn't come on time, right? They had to wash it and get it ready for us to shoot. But the driver had a situation that he had to attend to very quickly. But I still give him credit because he made it possible. He was still there on time. And me on my own, I had to do something. I had another shoot with Grant. I had to shoot with Grant that same day. So I was in between shoots. I had to call Grant. I was like, am I coming late today? So this is what I'm doing. He was like, okay, no problem. Just take your time. When you're done, come. So I had to do that entire shoot in nothing less than 4 hours. I just had 4 hours to do that shoot.
Interesting.
And out of that 4 hours, we had already lost about 2 hours. So I had very limited time to get everything done. So the question is, how do I get to sell without coming off as
An ad.
an ad?
Yeah.
Have fun. I think that's what many creatives are forgetting to do. Have fun. It's still you having fun. It's still you thinking like a child. It's still you expressing how you see it. This is how I see it.
Creating like a child, enjoying the process.
Enjoy the process. Don't get too serious. I know you can get serious when we have cameras like
But
this.
it can be really stressful to sell something without making it obvious that you're trying to sell something.
I mean, you said it yourself. You didn't know until the end. And that's because while creating, I wasn't trying to overthink things. I wasn't trying to overthink, is my settings, is my camera, am I using the best camera?
You see, I don't know if he's Meshki. I don't know if you know Meshki, this guy.
Yeah.
He made a video recently saying how Nollywood movies try to infuse ads in their movies, and it was doing ridiculous examples like saying, it was interrogating. It was a police officer interrogating a criminal, and it carried like Vaseline, like
Meshki.
use Vaseline.
Meshki guy.
It can be like that sometimes. It
Yeah.
can actually be like that sometimes. Like, it should just be obvious that okay, we know Maggie actually sponsored this.
Yes.
We know it's okay. But there's a way you watch those foreign movies. You just see Apple. They will just portray Apple in a
Very-
or they will just show you how D in a mad that you just love how D. But you will be like,
Oh, we've given out the secret now.
and after a while, you now be like, why are they showing me Audi? Why am I loving Audi? You now be like, oh, Audi may actually sponsor.
Marketing is 90% psychology. That's what people don't seem to understand when it comes to when I see people going online. You can pay me so much and I'll make 8 videos for you for your brand. I'm like, okay, you can make 8 videos and make 0 sales.
Yeah.
And have 0 conversions. Like my friend Zan said, Tekena Williams, brilliant cinematographer, another person who inspires me a lot. He made this post on his page that beautiful art that don't convert is just expensive art. I'm not quoting him verbatim, but like that's
the summary.
Yeah, in summary of what he said. And it makes so much sense. You can make so much video, get so much attention, and have 0 conversion for your ad.
Even though we need quantity now, but if the quantity is not
if the quality is not there, if the real reason you're making that ad is not
and
there.
quality, there was something I don't know if it was you or Grant one day, that one thing I love about good videos is that even if it was not shot in 4K, if it's not in 4K, you're seeing it. Let's say it was shot in 4K, but I didn't get the opportunity to see it on 4K. Maybe somebody downloaded it from TikTok and sent to me on WhatsApp. And if it's a good story, if it's a quality story, you are still going to feel it. You are still going to feel the quality of the story. Because a lot of time when we say some things like, the quality of a story, people start to think of the quality of the gadget if it was shot in 12K or 8K. But a bad story can be shot in 12K and it will still look horrible. In fact, you can still use a 12K to shoot in 12K. Even the quality, physical quality, the highlights might still be blown out or something might still. So when we talk about, because this podcast is mainly for creatives, so when we talk about quality, what do you mean by the quality of
what I mean by quality is the quality of the story. Right? Are you passing the right message across? Right? It starts from there.
Yeah.
It starts from it all starts from the pre-production. What is going into this? Are you using the right team or the right equipment for what you're trying to do? It's not about having a big budget and then having so many people on set, right? It's not about that, but it's about, this is the goal, this is the plan. How are we going to send this message across to these people? It's going to resonate with them in the way we want it to. It's going to position us as a brand or the brand we are working for. It's going to position them in a place of authority or help them make sales. All of that is what goes into production. Now, in the pre-production phase, you need to work with the right team. You need to know what you're doing.
You need to work with the right team.
Pre-production, yes.
Can you tell us more about that, please?
So, for example, who's writing your script, right? Who's coming up with the ideas? Who is behind the brand? Who's branding the entire thing? Who's going to, who is producing the entire thing? Who are your key players in your team?
They're very important.
They are very, very important. And I don't think clients understand this thing when you charge them for pre-production and they're like, why are you charging me for that? What do I mean? But that is where it all starts. Because if the drawing board, if the blueprint is bad, I promise you, you are going to suffer in production and post-production.
How important do you say pre-production is?
Very, very important. Out of the 3, each of them are very important, yeah? But out of these 3, I personally spend more time, I give more attention in pre-production than I do in post or production.
And why is that?
Like I just said, it's the blueprint. Again, thinking about it as myself, right? Thinking about the production as an entity on its own. if I take out the soul from it, if I take out my soul, take out my soul, or take out my spirit from this body, what is left? Is an empty shell, right? So all that hard work of making this body what it is, if there is no substance in it, it's useless.
So you can shoot with a 12K camera, but if the story does not carry any weight,
It's useless. You can have the most beautiful cinematic videos, but if it's not carrying the right message,
it's flat.
it's flat. If it's not achieving what it was meant to achieve, then it's flat.
You know, one line that came to my head, that you can actually have depth in your frame, but your storytelling does not have depth.
Exactly. So in everything I do, I'm not saying I am 100% there, right? But in every content I try to put out, if it's not better than the last, I don't know. I feel some kind of way. And it's not until recently when I was talking to my friends, they were like, "Don't always think that way. Don't be a perfectionist." But if I must confess that I am a perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect. So I try to spend more time.
I think that is what builds you. That is what makes you grow faster.
Yeah, it's that constant drive to want to be better than you were yesterday. So I try to do that as much as I can. So if I put out something today, I go back and I watch it and I watch it and I watch it and I watch it over and over and over again. Did I pass the right message? Are people understanding what I'm trying to say here? Because being an artist is very niche. Not everybody understands what you're saying. It's very, very
If you are
niche.
not careful, if you don't know how to interpret your
art,
imaginations,
yes.
well,
If you don't know how to interpret it, then you might end up confusing everybody. So I always go back.
You now start explaining to people that this is what this video
Yes.
means. So see this frame you are seeing is because I wanted to do this one. Is because
Exactly.
So when you get to that point, you believe the storytelling has failed, right?
It has failed. It has failed. Like there are so many. Sorry, let me not say this part before people will come for me. But like, anyways, there are so many things I didn't put out just because I feel like people are not going to understand it. So I go back again and I try to edit it. When I try, it's not coming out as I want. I just, dead this project. Let's hop on to the next. But when I eventually get what I'm looking for, then I pull it out. But that's a bad habit, please. I'm not advising you to do that. Put out your content. Don't be like me.
Well, do you think filmmakers overhype gear more than they focus on storytelling?
Very, very well. They do. They spend so much emphasis on gear. Gear matters.
Yeah.
Gear matters. I will not sit down here and lie to you that gear doesn't matter. It matters. But if again the substance of what is coming out of that gear does not carry that weight, does not back that hype, if that content does not back that hype, then that gear is very useless. It's very useless. I have no business buying an Arri Alexa if I have not made do or I have not, exhausted everything my Lumix X12 can do. I have no business buying the most expensive gear when I have not exhausted the one I already have.
That is I don't even know what to call that, but that is just the truth though. That is just the truth.
You can get away with so many things. You can salvage so many things. You can improvise to achieve certain things. Okay, you don't have a gimbal, right? You don't have a gimbal. How can you get stable shots? If your camera is capable of
that's the internal image
stabilization, you are at an advantage. If for Canon users who don't like the IBIS in their system, like me, the lenses they do have IBIS.
Yeah. And there are techniques to even shoot.
Exactly. You can put the strap on your neck, push the camera forward.
And do you know that the funny thing is, even with a gimbal, if you don't understand those techniques, you will still have shaky footages.
You still will.
Yeah.
You still have shaky images.
Sometimes they are even worse because you don't start having.
I started thinking about something recently, and I was like, these camera brands have their branding, their marketing is so genius. They have messed with our minds. You know about metadata? Sorry. Sorry. Gyro data.
Yeah, gyro data.
Now we spend so much time wanting gimbals, but we forget that most of these cinema line cameras, they don't have IBIS, right?
Yeah, they don't.
But they all have gyro data.
Yeah.
And the best stabilization you will get
is gyro data.
Yeah. So when I see people saying, "Oh, this camera doesn't have IBIS," are you asking the right questions? Is the next thing I start to ask. Is IBIS really
And
everything?
that's one problem people had with C50.
That's one problem they have. But it comes with so much advantage. But let's not just talk about the
if you have
C50. There's
shaky
so many.
footage with C50, I think you are the problem, because that camera is not lightweight.
Yeah.
Then when you're rigging it completely for serious filmmaking, it's going to be heavy and it's going to already cancel
Balance
the
out,
micro
yes.
jitter. And if you are so particular about that, then you can just get
Use a gimbal.
Yeah.
Use a gimbal. And these days, I think me personally, I'm leaning more towards tripods and sliders than I am of gimbal. My gimbal has been in my car trunk for
And I
3
realized
months now.
there's something about still shots. There's something about slow movement shots. When there's this tempting thing with gimbal, that when you have gimbal, you just want to move around every
Yeah,
time.
you just want to do
Even
something.
when your videos does not require moving around, you just want to pan. You want to do 360.
Yeah.
You see people in wedding doing 360, Sometimes they end up not using it. Sometimes they even use it the wrong way. Sometimes they just, so
Bruh,
many movements
like
with no intention.
same thing. Now let's talk about something again in that same line, right? But this time around, it's something that's inside the camera. Let's talk about frame rates.
Yeah.
I see people 120 frames, 240 frames. Why? Why are you shooting?
You don't always need that.
You don't. You really don't. There's just something about shooting in 24 or 30 frames that
Yeah,
you can't replicate. You can't replicate.
there's something about 24 frames per second that it's just cinema.
Yeah.
You just feel it. You can't really say this is it, but you can
tell.
feel it.
You can feel it. You can get away with 30 frames. If you still want to do slow-mo, you can get away with 30 frames. But like, we don't need 120 frames. Why?
You don't always.
Sorry, thank you for that correction. You don't always need it. You need it when you want to achieve a particular thing.
Yeah.
But all the time, if I turn on your camera, the first thing I'm seeing is 120 frames, 4K. Why? Why? So yeah, understanding the techniques is so much more important than understanding.
But what are your non-negotiable when it comes to setting up your camera? Like, if you had to just pick up any camera now, what are the non-negotiable, let's say, accessories and settings that you know that this setting, no, I can't shoot on this setting. I can't shoot with this mode.
One thing I will never negotiate. Flat. Shooting flat. I can't negotiate. No.
So that's nothing. You see, shooting log, can be very. There was a controversy going up online that people were saying, you don't have to shoot log if you're doing talking head. If you're not doing much. But I get more scared if I don't shoot log because I have less control over my footage. So, and I don't understand when it's the opposite for some people and they say that they get scared, they just want to be safe and shoot. I'm like, I want to be safe. That is why I'm shooting in log. Because if I'm not shooting in log, I'm not safe. If anything should happen to my footage, it's more difficult for me to bring back my highlights to do the corrections and stuff. So I don't like what else?
I don't want to put anybody down, but by what I'm about to say, but like, I think that shows the level of understanding and advancement between creators.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying their level of understanding of what they are doing differ.
Yeah.
So for somebody who shoots log, right, understands how colors work.
And sometimes when you've not started shooting log like that, and you are scared.
Yeah.
But when you start shooting, you'll be like, what have I been doing? It looks like DaVinci Resolve. When I've not been using DaVinci Resolve, I've always been color grading with Premiere Pro for so long, and then I just switched. And after 3 months, I started calling all my friends that have been using DaVinci. Oh, wow. So you knew DaVinci was this good and you didn't tell me. He said, but I told you, you were good with Premiere. I said, why can't you convince me? Like, bro, I've been color grading with Premiere Pro. That's
exactly.
crazy.
So it just shows the difference in understanding. So somebody who shoots log understands not just how colors work, but also how exposure works. So, but somebody who doesn't shoot log or doesn't like to shoot log yet, it's just trying to play it safe.
Yeah.
Which is, there's no problem to that. I did that too.
But you're going to learn.
But you have to learn. You have to make that mistake.
Yeah.
So I made the mistake a couple of times. I was shooting and I didn't pay attention to my exposure meter sometimes. Right? And then I would get underexposed when shooting log and I'll get overexposed and I was like, hi, what's going on? I didn't understand.
With time you get to.
With time, once you understand.
Now you can shoot it with your eyes closed, safe.
But I can't shoot without log.
So what are your other negotiables?
So like I just mentioned, when it comes to the camera, that camera must be capable of shooting log.
Log.
Must be capable of shooting 4K and above. 4K and above is fine. Must be capable of shooting in at least 30 frames a second. I can get away with 30, at least 30.
So what about accessories?
Accessories, oof,
What is that non-negotiable thing, accessory that you have to put on your camera?
is this guy here, tripod. I don't, I think this
No,
is...
no, no. I mean your camera
Okay,
body.
on the camera body.
On the camera body.
Camera's body. Ah.
That without this.
Are we talking about lens too?
Yes, together. Your camera body with the lens, yeah.
So what goes on the camera body and the lens?
Yeah.
So okay, the camera and the lens is a fix. Is already there. Okay. What is one thing? Memory card too.
Yes, that of
Okay,
course.
so all of those other things are there.
But there's one thing you didn't mention, but that I know very well about you. You use it more than I do, and that's the ND filter. I know that
I want to say
never
ND filter.
almost seen you without an ND filter.
I want to say ND filter, yeah.
Uh,
But at the same time, I can get away with an ND filter.
oh,
I can't get away with ND filter.
but I've never
there's
seen you shoot anything without an ND filter.
I mean, before I started using ND filter, I was shooting without it.
Actually,
But what is that one thing that I know that I can't do without? Or more.
as long as you have your camera and lens. But okay,
I think it's ND.
but
I think it's ND filter.
prime lens or zoom lenses.
Oof. I confess, I'm a primes guy. I'm a primes guy, but I love zooms, and I've been using zooms for a particular reason.
You know, I've never bought zoom with my money. I don't have one single zoom lens.
Fair. I never thought I would. I actually never thought I would ever buy a zoom
But I
lens.
think I need one. I need one because Sigma just released this. I think is it 17 to 40 f1.8. So, but for crop sensor. So because of that wide aperture is where I want to. Because I don't really like zoom because most of them are stuck at 2.8, and the ones that can get to 2 points are very expensive, ridiculously expensive. So I just feel like that money I'll use it to buy like 2 prime lenses. And I mean I love. There's something about prime lenses that you can.
There is. I think more. I love primes. I can't lie. I love primes, especially when you shoot anamorphic.
Yeah.
You just gotta love primes.
But how important do you think gear is in filmmaking?
Like,
be sincere.
If budget is not a problem. If budget
is not your problem.
If budget is not a problem.
Anti-max.
Hey. You know what they call gas?
Yes.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
You have it. Your eye on it. We all know the gears.
I will buy. I will buy. Call me a hypocrite. I don't care. But I will buy. if
gear does not matter, but you will buy.
I will buy. It just came out. I will buy it. Yeah. So, but I'm saying that I would. It's a condition I have.
There's something about acquiring the gears you want to use. Like, I feel like it also inspires you to create more. Though if you're not careful, sometimes you feel like, when you get that camera, you can't wait for the things then you get it then because it's now your own. In fact, sometimes if you have access to a camera to just rent it, it inspires you to create more because you know that once you collect it, you need to create what you need to create before you return it. But sometimes when you own those cameras, you just feel like it's my own. Anytime I want to create, I can create.
90% of the time you wouldn't. You'll be like, it's still there. I have to. I'll do it tomorrow. You wouldn't. But like just having it just feels good. It's one of those things you have like if you're a collector, you just have it there and you just, I have it.
But let's be controversial a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think Sony dominance in the creative space is overrated? Or Sony is actually leading?
There's a reason. There's a reason they are leading.
But you agree they are leading?
I agree they are leading. And there's a reason they are leading.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. That reason falls down to... Okay, let me use Nigeria as a case study. Sony is like Corolla. Any weather.
I say that a lot. Yeah.
So you said, I think it's you that said it. I picked that from. Sony is like Corolla. You want equipment, you need accessories. You need you're in a shoot, you're shooting right now. You need gear the next 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's readily available.
Yeah, you can get this
For Sony, it's readily available.
You can get a Sony in any state. If you are shooting in any state, if you forget your lens, you can get a Sony lens
anywhere
anywhere
in the world. Like anywhere you go,
yeah.
you can get it.
So I'm curious. You used to be a Canon shooter. Now you shoot.
Used to.
I will say primarily. I mean, your primary camera now. Your daily drive.
My daily drive is
Lumix. I'm not a troublemaker.
You're a troublemaker.
I'm not a troublemaker.
So you're a troublemaker.
I'm not a troublemaker. But what does Lumix have that Canon does not have? Why are you thinking so much
I'm
about
not thinking so much. This is what I want to say about Lumix.
Yes.
Lumix gives me...
I want you to be truthful.
I'm being truthful here.
Yeah.
I'm being very truthful here. But like, Lumix gives me everything other camera brands deny me of.
Okay. I like where this one is going.
Yeah, they give me... Why are you denying... Okay, Sony. I love Sonys. I love Sonys.
Yes.
But I wouldn't ever join the Sony cult. I might even own a Sony camera.
But you
maybe I own one now,
but you don't
never join the cult.
Why? What kind of features are you talking about?
Okay, Sony, why don't I still have open gates?
Especially on FX3.
On FX3.
FX6 does not have an open gate.
I know people will be like, oh, it's overrated. Yes, it's
but I want
it. I want
Give it to me. I want it. Yeah.
I want it. Okay. What else? I want to be able to shoot 32-bit floats internal.
Then why am I even stuck in 4K?
Why am I stuck in 4K?
You gave me a 7K sensor and I'm stuck in 4K.
Why am I stuck in 4K? It's the fact that I know that I can use 7K with my sensor.
Yes.
But I can't. And with just one firmware update, I can have that. But you still deny me till today. Why? What did I do to you, Sony?
Okay, so Lumix gave you all of these options and you're like, even though you don't use them every time, do you use the open gate?
I use the open gate. My camera right now is set to 5.1K open gate. I don't shoot. That is my default setting. So
and I think this is there's something nostalgic about that 4x3 frame that is just so cool. Like I just love it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Sony is just trying to be stubborn. Like
I don't know why. No, this is a practical case scenario where OpenGate has saved me. The documentary I mentioned, right, that I had to go shoot. It turns out that they needed something for social media. This is a project I had already finished. Everything was shot on landscape. I'm done with this project, right? But because I shot in OpenGate, framed for both aspect ratios, you can set that. You can set the frame markers to be there, the frame guides to be there. I framed for both, right? For both vertical and horizontal. They reached out to me a couple of weeks later. Hey, is it possible to have this for social media?
Interesting. So you just have to reframe.
I just reframed. And then with DaVinci, smart reframe.
And the crop is going to be minimal because you shot on
5.1K.
And you shot on OpenGate.
And I shot on OpenGate. These are real life scenarios. Because clients can just say, oh, we need this. I can be like, oh, for an extra charge, I might have to come back and reshoot this. But I still said this, okay, we can get it done, but it will cost you so and so. Because we still have to do small work to the project. So it just comes as a fraction of the price. And we did it. We just reframed it. Reframed it in DaVinci, made a couple of adjustments, and then we sent it out. Still maintaining same quality, same delivery timeline. I don't have to go back to start shooting again. You feel me? Or I don't have to start having multiple camera setups.
One more question on this gear thing. Not like I'm trying to look for trouble. But if Lumix disappeared today, what brand are you going to move to?
I'll go back to Canon.
I don't understand. What beef do you have with Sony?
I'll go back to Canon.
Why? In fact, I want to know, because I did it the last 3 session we had on this show.
Yeah.
Like, can you rank the camera brands from like your top 5 or top 3? What would you call your number 1? I'm not talking about the high-end cinema cameras. I'm just talking about the prosumer cinema cameras.
Oh boy.
I actually figured most of the people that are watching this podcast have not subscribed yet. From the statistics, from the analytics, I realized you've not subscribed. And if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, please try as much as possible to subscribe now and share with your friends, share with other creatives that might need this video. Thank you.
Am I exempting myself out of this?
What do you mean?
Because I'll be biased. Let me just be honest.
Be biased. Exactly.
If I'm being biased,
want to know you're biased.
I'm going to put it Canon, Lumix, Sony.
Thank God. Interesting. Wait. What did you say?
Canon, Lumix, Sony.
Why Canon?
Bias. I started off with a Canon. That's one.
Okay.
Two.
But why did you choose the S1 Mark II over the C50?
More. It's budget too.
Okay, it was more expensive.
It was. I mean,
if you had the money, you would have gone for.
I would have gone for the C50 if I had much
budget,
more money,
then.
a bigger budget.
Then.
But that's not all. I did have the money for the C50, but I wouldn't have gotten a lens, right?
Okay.
But with that money I had, I was able to get the Lumix S12 with a lens, an extra battery, an ND filter. What else? A memory card, a Lexa memory card.
Interesting.
See how much gear I was able to get.
And the money you will even need to get only lens for that C50 will cost you your.
And now that is what I don't like about Canon. Like, why is it so expensive, man?
And the only lenses they've been releasing, third-party lenses we've been seeing are mostly crop sensor.
I mean, why? Canon, why?
I think that's one thing. A lot of people have been clamoring that they need to release they refuse to release their RF mounts to third party.
I promise you, I say this thing today, and I pray people find this video. The day Canon would release the RF mount to third party companies, a lot of creatives who migrated to Sony would come back.
I don't believe so.
I 100% believe so.
Why will I leave Sony to Canon?
You never used Canon, did you?
Oh my God, I use Canon sometimes. I do. In fact, Canon sent me the camera. We did a review for the C50.
Oh yeah, we did a review.
Then I did a review for the R50.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And I've also used like the 5D Mark III before. I understand. I love the color science. I love everything, but I think. I don't think my next camera will be Sony though, but I will still have Sony as my daily drive, as my vlog camera.
Yeah, you know, there's that one camera that always.
Yeah, and
for me, that one camera that is always there, my daily drive is the Lumix. Like, I don't think I'm ever.
So if you're getting a Canon, you will just choose your Lumix as your daily
drive. Daily drive. Like my everyday camera is the Lumix. It's the Lumix. Every day, if I'm going anywhere, it's the Lumix.
Okay. What's one gear opinion? I'm not trying to make it controversial, but what's one gear opinion that you think would make people mad online? One of your radical beliefs about gear. My own is that full frame is overrated. A lot of people come after me every time I say it. And they say, you don't need a full frame to make really quality videos.
I might have to agree with you. I think it says, I do think full frame is, I think the hype, let me just say, the hype of full frame.
I love full frame. I own a full frame camera and I own a crop sensor, but I still end up using my crop sensor camera more. And I also love the fact that with crop sensor cameras, you can use, my 35mm is like, my full frame 35mm on my crop is like 50 something. You get, if you put 70 to 200 on your crop sensor, it's like a wide life lens because you have more rooms.
Like 150.
There's just so many. Do you have cheaper lens option? I just feel like when people are starting out, it's like, it's overrated. Why you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a full frame camera. And that low light thing, as long as that camera was produced in the last 3 years or 2 years, I think almost every cameras are now good in low light, except you are shooting in total darkness, which most people don't.
I think the only advantage that full frame has, and if you do a deep dive on how full frame came to be, it was a mistake. Full frame was actually a mistake, but that's not why we're here. I see a lot of advantage with crop sensor. Doesn't mean I'll shoot crop sensor or make crop sensor my everyday camera. No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. The only downside with crop sensors is the fact that you have to now invest so much on lighting. If you just have to invest in good lighting and good primes or
Do
good
you think a
lenses,
good primes, but you know,
primes,
good primes for crop sensor are actually very affordable.
and they are very
With
affordable,
600K, do you know you can get the prime lens f1.4 prime lens?
especially in the Sony lineup.
Yes,
Especially in the Sony lineup.
for your crop sensor camera.
Oof.
Do you know what it will cost for you to get a full frame f1.4? Let's say even Sigma f1.4 full frame lens. You won't spend anything less than 1 point something. It's not possible for a
One
new
point.
lens. For a new lens. For Sigma, I'm not talking about
Okay.
Sony
Oh, okay, okay.
lens.
Because I was about to say, eh?
No, of course. Now you will have to sell your kidney to buy a G Master. I understand. So what's that one piece? What's that one piece of gear you think people are overpaying for right now? That you think the value is bringing to the table is not converting. Like, why am I going to spend that much money on this particular gear?
Oof. I want to say hard drives, solid state drives.
Those things are getting ridiculously expensive.
I,
I
I,
think
I
I
can see why.
messaged, I think it was Camera Joint. I went to their store and they told me, was it 8 terabytes is like 1 million or 980K? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
But just above solid state drive. I would say solid state, but if you're a photographer as well, you would agree with me that the prices for Adobe Creative Cloud.
I think,
What is going
and
on?
I heard they now charge for they now charge cancellation fee.
Cancellation fees.
You cannot even cancel in peace. I think that is theft.
That's criminal.
That's
And
criminal.
then most of the time, if you start to use the AI features, you are like, selling off your rights to your images.
And that's why people are tilting towards DaVinci when it comes to video now. Because I mean, when you buy Blackmagic camera, you even get it
You
for
get
free.
the activation key for free. Not even a camera, any
Any
Blackmagic
Blackmagic
equipment,
products. Wow.
product, anyone you buy, you get the
Meanwhile,
activation key
Adobe is there.
every month. Just
I actually think Adobe is too expensive.
it is.
And even though I don't support people doing crack, Nigerians crack versions, doing a lot of crack versions of Adobe apps and stuff, I think it's just ridiculous. It's almost impossible for a beginner creative in Nigeria to own an Adobe
Boy,
editing software.
what I pay every month just for Lightroom and Photoshop because I don't use Premiere.
Mm-hmm.
But what I pay for Lightroom and Photoshop every month is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
Why?
it's too much.
Every single month, and there are months where I don't even use it, right?
Exactly.
But it's just there. You can invest in other things. Maybe if you're somebody that uses AI, invest in Higgsfield or something else. That will benefit you more.
What do you think if you're going to start again from the beginning? Like you're starting your career again as a cinematographer and a director, what are the mistakes that you made that you think you're going to correct, and what gear are you going to choose to start again? If you're starting newly,
If I'm starting
you
new,
have 5 million naira,
ooh, 5.
million
That's a
naira.
big budget, sir.
Yeah.
Um, First mistake I would avoid is negative self-talk. Yeah, I wouldn't speak negatively about myself. I wouldn't put myself down. I wouldn't tell myself I am not good enough. And if I had 5 million naira in my account, I would first of all, I wouldn't get a camera first. But the first thing I'm going to get is a very good laptop. A very, very good laptop. It's one thing to buy a camera that is so good. It's another thing to be able to manage that camera, because buying something like a C50 now, even though I love that camera so much,
If your
the file size
laptop
is
is no,
if it's not strong, you cannot handle the files.
you cannot.
So I would buy a camera that a good laptop, right? Maybe a MacBook with an M1 chip, even if it's a MacBook
M1
M1
Pro.
Pro. I'll start with that, as long as it can handle
Like 32 gig
DaVinci.
RAM.
32 gig RAM, as long as I can handle like DaVinci. And I'll get a camera. Now I said Sony is at the bottom, right? But I would still get a Sony
What do you
camera.
mean Sony is at the bottom?
In my list, in my top 3, Sony is the last, but I'll get a Sony camera.
Oh, okay.
I think something like the ZVE1 Mark II or the ZVE1, the original ZVE1.
ZVE1 Mark II or ZVE10 Mark II?
Sorry, ZVE10, ZVE10, the original, or ZVE10 Mark II. I love the ZVE1. I love
Amazing
that
camera.
camera. Oh my god, I love that camera,
It shares the same sensor with the FX6, FX3, A7S3.
bro.
Amazing
There's
camera.
so much about that camera that I love. But I'll get the ZVE10. I love that camera too. I'll get that one. If I don't get the ZVE10, I would get the Canon R50V. But I would pick the ZVE10
ZVE10 Mark
over
II,
the
yeah.
R50V
Yeah.
because the ZVE10 has more
I think
features,
Canon are not paying attention like that to their
crop sensors anymore.
crop. No. I think vlogging cameras. I think there's a crop sensor that I think is nice. Is the R8? No, R8 is full frame, right?
It's full frame.
I think they have one.
I use the R8.
I think they have one crop sensor that is not that bad, but I think most of their crop sensors are just they are giving family cameras, holiday cameras, like.
That's vlogging now. Go on vacations, you want to
But
vlog.
you can actually shoot amazing cinematic footages with ZV-10, especially the Mark II. Like that you won't even guess is a vlogging camera. You won't be able to tell the difference because the ZV-10 Mark II actually shares the same sensor with the FX30.
That's impressive. Can't lie. I think with Sony, what they do with their crop sensors is they try to give it more professional. What their vlogging cameras is they try to give it more professional features. Yeah. So like I was saying, Sony with their crop sensor cameras, they try to infuse more professional features into their vlogging cameras. Yeah. So for Canon, they cater towards creatives more and what they need rather than those professional features that industry experts need.
I mean, it has been an amazing time with you on the show.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to bring you back after some few episodes. So if you're still watching to these points in time, thank you for sticking around with us. I'm sure you've been able to get a lot of insights from Achiv. And if you're also a beginner, I'm sure you've been able to understand how to, navigate your career as a beginner filmmaker or a beginner cinematographer. Thank you for sticking with us. This is Depth of It podcast. My name is Samfren Ojo. I'm a documentary filmmaker. You can follow me here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, or follow me on any social media platform. See you in our next video. Thank you. Tell them to subscribe now.
Subscribe, please. Please.
All right.